with this lead and the finish line getting closer and closer. Meanwhile, Mohini Bardwaj is all about real estate. She has claimed the third spot in the standings, and now she has to try and keep it. Catching Tabitha Yim may or may not be possible. That's a big difference. But she's being pushed from behind by Rachel Kidd. The difference there is just about 3.5 tenths. She's a UCLA Bruin national champion, the daughter of a Russian and an Indian woman, who now is All-American and just trying to hold on to what she's got.
One of her coaches, Val Condos, has said that she has an edge on many of the competitors here, not only because of her experience, but she really feels that she is the mature elite athlete out there on the floor.
And if you talk about experience, she's got more than anybody, even Tasha Schweiker, the Olympian, 4 years in a row, 15 meets a year.
I'd say she does exactly what she needs to do.
And for Mohini, it's not about moving up, it's about staying in that third spot. That puts her on the world team. That's the goal. Right there, Coach Steve Gerlach, head coach Val Condos from the NCAA champion UCLA Bruins.
And as we look across the floor, there's a much different emotion. This is happiness. This is a lost opportunity being felt. But remember what Steve Rybacki said. He said, we've got to move on. And look at Tabitha Yim. She is. She's already thinking about her next routine. Here in Philadelphia, a smile from Mohini Bardwaj, who gets an 8.9 on floor exercise. What was her start value, LP?
Actually, it was a very low 9.2.
So that's why she registered that. Now Morgan White. Morgan had some difficulties last night. She's trying to come back from shoulder surgery. She missed the Olympics, right before the game started in Sydney because of another injury. And here in Philadelphia, it just doesn't seem as though she's ready to go.
Well, remember, she just got the go-ahead by her doctor 5 weeks ago. She admitted to us that she hasn't had the numbers in training. She hasn't done this routine enough times. But the reason why Morgan is here is to make an impression. She wants to show everyone that she's worthy of contributing to the World Championship team. This is where she feels she can do that.
You mean as a specialist?
Yes, yes. At this point, certainly qualifying as a specialist. And because of her remarkable experience, that they would think that that was valuable enough to put her on the team without seeing her ready to go on 4 events.
This was a new skill for Morgan, one which she fell off the other night. Very difficult.
Same thing.
I asked her coach, Mary Lee Tracy, what happened on night 1 on that, and she said, I don't know.
Mary Lee also mentioned that she's a changed athlete. In the past, or at least last year, she really used to get into Morgan's face, tell her what to do, carry her through the meet step by step. She said she's noticed in practices in the last year since her comeback that she's really taken charge for herself. She knows what she needs to do to get the job done.
This has got to be very difficult for her. At one point in time in her young life, she's good enough to be on the Olympic team, and suddenly that's gone. And now as everybody reassembles here at a national championship because of this injury, she's not part of the elite mix. It's got to be very, very hard.
Frustrating, she said, that she's supposed to be where Tasha is right now. That's where she's supposed to be.
These are good, though. Just going to get a whip on that. Feel good about it. I feel good about that routine. Okay? Look presentable. Okay? Good job. I think this is a very good sign. After night 1, we saw tears from Morgan. She is so hard on herself. You know, Tim and I both said last year after the Olympic Games that these were the two athletes, Tasha and Morgan, who could move on to the next generation. Just trying to stay square with that beam, just 4 inches.
8.65 for Morgan White. Meanwhile, what does it mean to become a national champion? Elise Ray knows that. She's down on the floor with Beth Ruyak.
So, Elise, somebody will be national champion here tonight, and how will their life change after that?
It's surely going to create a lot more confidence for that person. Just the feeling of it going into future meets or even just practices, it kind of creates a certain confidence around yourself that is wonderful to have.
Do you remember the pressure on this finals night?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually very clear, and it kind of all comes back once you're in the arena again. But even though there's a lot of pressure, there's also a lot of excitement within you that helps a lot.
Okay, you're on your way back to University of Michigan next year and more gymnastics. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, will Tasha Schweikert have that same feeling? It certainly looks like it. She's recorded a 9-1, but Tabitha Yim has not made any move, and so Tasha really just has to hold on. She's got that really cool iridescent green leotard. It makes her look like some sort of a superhero here tonight.
Well, she wants to stand out, that's for sure. We know that in her personality. She's enjoying this time in her life. She's enjoying the spotlight. She's come into this competition very well trained, injury-free.
Remember her rapid ascent to this spot. When the Olympics began in Sydney, she was on the outside. She was the alternate. She wasn't going to get the Olympic uniform. She wasn't going to get that bag of goodies. She wasn't officially going to be able to say she was an Olympian. Then Morgan White got hurt. And for another time in her career, Tasha Schweikert got the call. And when the Olympics were said and done and she had competed in her 3 apparatus, the general opinion was that she was the best Olympian from the United States under those tense circumstances. That was her proving ground. This now becomes a launching pad.
And more than just winning a national championship, I think that she basically believes that's going to happen already. She wants bigger and better. She wants world and Olympic medals, and I think she's got the goods to get it done.
Looking good as she nails it down. With Coach Cassie Rice.
Just a little to the side on a few jumps, but
Coaches are tough. Oh, man. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Well, you know, Cassie's right, though. She's heading off to the World Championships, and it is about those really nitpicky points, especially on a dismount like this that she could stick. She can't afford to give that away at a World Championship.
Yeah, we've seen that.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all because you...
I'm so happy I can
Yeah, the 2 at the end you got, and then the mount in the front you lost. So that's good.
And that is the matter-of-fact way that pros talk about their craft. Tasha Schweikert, her 9.425, about to be crowned the best senior, we think. Later here on NBC. The next generation of women's gymnastics in the United States, the juniors.
What I believe to be the best single-generation crop of athletes the USA has ever had.
Hey!
12 here in Philadelphia at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships. After the second rotation, things are a lot like they were after the first.